Thanks very much, Program Director, fellow panelists, colleagues, participants. Once again, I must appreciate this opportunity that we are having as the department to make this presentation to this august audience. The topic, Program Director, as you have already alluded to, is post-school education and training implications of the COVID-19 pandemic on delivering career services. And then we'll see here, these are the areas that I'll be covering: post-school vision and mission, 5-year strategic outcomes, what we aim to achieve, the role played by career development services, career services, 2018 conference, current provision of career services, COVID-19 challenges, recommendations, and then I will conclude thereof. You will see the vision and the mission of the Department of Post-School Education and Training is quite very central in the rendering of career development services across the country. Our vision is an integrated and coordinated PSET system for improved economic participation and social development of youth and adults. Whilst the mission seeks to provide strategic leadership to the PSET system through development of an appropriate steering mechanisms, including but not limited to career development services mechanisms, effective oversight, monitoring and evaluation, provision of support services in relation to teaching and learning, funding of PSET institutions and entities. These are our 5-year strategic plan outcomes, colleagues, which will get them as well in our 5-year strategic plan as the Department of Higher Education and Training. Expanded access to PSET opportunities, that's the area you'd agree with me that is haunting us, because we need to expand these PSET opportunities so that we can enroll as many as possible young people, whether in our TVET colleges, universities, as well as our CET colleges. Improved efficiency and success of the PSET system, improved quality of PSET provision, a responsive PSET system, excellent business operations within the department. This is the impact that we seek to achieve, because for all your interventions, you must aim to have impact. You must aim to change something. You'll see the red one in your far right, access to PSET opportunities, the one that I've already alluded to. And then the impact there, my colleague as well, Dr. Mwe, has spoken with regards to this impact, improved social and economic development through the PSET system, which is quite very critical for all our interventions. Education and training needs of individuals, employers, and society are addressed. You'll see here, we're just trying to have some narration of the role that is being played by career development services. Dr. Mboya went at length with regards to this as well. You'll see we have schooling, and then we have post-school, we've got world of work. There is a nexus if you look into the work of career development services, as it must be felt in each and every area. Whether it's schooling, it's post-schooling, it's world of work. So I think we know already the implications and the impact that has been caused by COVID-19 pandemic in our society and almost everywhere, with a high rate of youth unemployment standing now at 52%. If you look into those young people between the ages of 15 and 24. Another important area, of course, is those who are not in employment, education, and or training. that number for young people between the ages of 15 and 24 is standing between 3.5 million. And then those between 25 to 34 is standing at 4.6 million. If you just bring those together, then it will give us about 8 million. So these are the areas, especially, as the post-school education and training, we must make impact, in terms of our career development services. As I've mentioned earlier on, career services to us as the department and the post-school education and training sector, as central, of course, it will be study options. I know during our time, in particular during my time, I never heard of anything related to career development services. I went to university without being informed as to which option or options that I can really explore myself. So we would not wish to see the generation of today also to face, same or similar situation. So that is the area we're focusing, and we continue to focus and embed it in all our policies, procedures, and systems as the Department of Higher Education and Training, and general our post-school education and training sector. Financial aid, we know, is also a very big issue, especially when you start the calendar year. Colleagues will know we've got like your NSFAS and other institutions that are playing a very pivotal role with regard to financial aid. And obviously, if we are not rendering these career services, those young people, especially in rural areas, they are not going to know of all these available opportunities that are out there. Skills in demand, I always raise the issue whenever someone is going to make his or her own choice to say, let's also look as to what is required by the economy. And we know, for example, the president has just addressed the parliament yesterday dealing with the economic restructuring and recovery plan. If we look into that plan, it's unleashing some of the areas of the economy that government will be investing in going forward, especially if you look into your infrastructure development. So this is quite very critical service that we do render as the Department of Higher Education and Training Career Services. Transition into the labor market is forever always important for all of us, as the country. It's a societal challenge. So that is why you'll see, if you look into our career services, it's one of those areas that we place some prime interest in it. Entrepreneur development also quite very important, because we know the economy of this country, even if you look into the numbers of those who are employed in the main, you'll see that those who are employed in the formal employment are less compared to those employed in the formal employment. Therefore, it becomes quite very critical to us, to raise awareness around what are those entrepreneurial opportunities that are out there, and encouraging young people in particular to also venture into these areas. Obviously, the next one there is your access to post-school education and training. So it's an area that remains forever important to all of us, and as the country in particular. Then if we just go through a memory lane, we look into our 2018 conference. In our 2018 conference, which the department hosted, it was under the theme Careers in a Changing World. My colleague, Dr. Mboya, has really, introduced some very important areas when you look into, especially the careers, the future of work and the like, This conference provided a knowledge foundation on the fourth industrial revolution and its implication for career development in South Africa. Speakers at the conference were in agreement that the fourth industrial revolution is not the future, but a current reality. I should think, especially with the exposure to COVID-19, now we could see how important is a fourth industrial revolution. And we could not say a fourth industrial revolution will begin in 2021 because it is with us right now. The readiness of South Africa for the fourth industrial revolution was put under the spotlight. I should think we were so exposed under COVID-19, where we had to do things multi-modal, using various platforms. South Africa was rated 5 out of 10 on the readiness in a number of factors, including technology and innovation by the World Economic Forum in 2017. This implies then, therefore, we really need to invest a lot of our resources around this particular area, especially post-COVID-19. If we look into since 2010, South Africa established a multi-channel technology platform to disseminate quality and relevant career information to all citizens through CATA project based at the Department of Higher Education and Training. These platforms include the cloud-based National Career Helpline integrated with the department as call center and Indlela, the National Career Advice Portal, and the Career Help website. During the lockdown, the technology behind the helpline telephone system enabled career advisors to continue attending to clients from home. In addition, the National Career Advice Portal has online career surveys, including a career self-assessment resource for career decision makers. So you'll agree with us that this is the area that we really need to invest hugely if we are going to make impact with regard to our career development services. In order to ensure that beneficiaries in poor socioeconomic conditions continue to access the existing technology platforms, the department engaged network providers on zero rating these platforms. And then to date, those engagement and agreements, were reached with Telkom, Vodacom, MTN, MWeb, Rain and Internet Solutions. And then, of course, we were forced into these kind of arrangements, by COVID-19. So those are some of the opportunities that we need really to appreciate arising out of the arrival of COVID-19 into our shores. I've already alluded to this because these are the current zero-rated providers that we work with them in our existing technology platforms. Well, challenges, my colleague has already alluded into a number of these challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic has engendered disruption and necessitated discourses on how we provide career services in post-school sector. It disrupted our traditional approaches to the provision of career services. The pandemic brought to a halt the provision of career services via conduct career exhibitions, face-to-face information sessions, and face-to-face career counseling, exactly what Dr. Mboya was alluding to. Students who exclusively rely on conduct career exhibitions and information sessions that are ordinarily take place at schools, libraries, and community centers have to receive career guidance. Uninformed career decisions might result in a possible increase in dropout rates, congestion, and low enrollment in certain career fields. The greatest threat to our success in rendering career services during the life.
It's better if we respond there. Will they show? Yeah, they show. Yep.
can read the responses.
And then which ones are more complex?
Did you touch on this one? Are there any plans to do?
Apologies, but I just request that Dr. Maboya mute her.
Sure.
Mr. Mbaba, can I request that you unmute your audio? We don't seem to be able to hear you.
You can't hear me now?
There we go, we can hear you. Thank you very much. Apologies for the interruption, sir. You may continue.
Thanks very much. We're saying we need to invest in online delivery modes. Sometimes you are being thrown in the deep end of the sea and you begin to start swimming if you never swim. So this is what is happening, with us as a result of COVID-19 pandemic. Provision of carrier information can be made easily accessible on Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp. Especially, we know the generation of today is very much on Facebook, on Twitter, WhatsApp, and other platforms, which are quite very important for our communication. Invest in the development of carrier information applications. That's the area that we are saying we need to really invest a lot of money and our partnerships, going forward. Traditional modes of providing carrier services such as exhibitions and information sessions can be digitized. The pandemic has shown us that this is possible, as some institutions of higher learning are conducting their open days and exhibitions online. A hybrid should be sought. Such a model could incorporate both the traditional provision of carrier services and an internet-based approach to ensure inclusivity. If we opt for one and leave the other, we might exclude some of our young people. So that is why then, therefore, we are using these multimodal approaches. As I conclude, Program Director, as access to post-school sector is increasingly migrated to online, access to career services should gradually undergo digitization to encourage young people who have mobile phones that are connected to the internet to access seamless career services. It is acknowledged that data costs are still high and that connectivity in certain parts of the country is still a challenge, especially if you look into rural areas. Private and public partnerships are quite very critical in ensuring that this challenge is addressed. I should think my colleague was also alluding regarding the importance of partnership, especially with both the private and public. Well, as I conclude, Program Director, the first part of the webinar lays a foundation. The next webinar is on 27 October 2020, where a representative from Estonia will share how they responded to career services needs during the pandemic. The last session, of course, is going to be on the 27 October 2020, where the issues of digital divide will be discussed. Mr. Masholoku, the DDG at the Department of Communications and Digital Technologies, will be one of the speakers. Once again, Program Director, distinguished guests and colleagues, thanks very much with this honor and opportunity.